Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jupiter James and this is Astro Motivation, where I awaken the astrologer within you and aim to give you a little inspiration and motivation per your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and I this and I that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly where our dreams were and how to get them. And so if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get into it. Today I'm excited to dive into a bit of a candid discussion with you all around Vedic astrology versus tropical Western astrology. And we're gonna dive into what I practice, what type of astrologer that I am, what I feel about each of them, which one is more accurate, so on and so forth. And so if that interests you, let's go ahead and get into it. So since my astrology career here on YouTube has began, I've been getting so many questions at least once a week. I'm always asked, what kind of astrology do I practice? What kind of astrologer am I? I'm always asked if Vedic astrology is more accurate than Western astrology, and I'm excited to bring you my take on it. So first and foremost, drum roll please, I am a tropical Western astrologer who honors and practices and uses Vedic principles and techniques. I personally am obsessed with astrology, and I feel that it is a disservice to put the cap on your abilities in just practicing or using one system, okay? So for me, I'm an astrology junkie, I'm obsessed, and for me, what I do, this video is actually sponsored by Moonly, because Moonly is a Vedic app. And I remember in my journey of becoming an astrologer and learning about astrology is that once I got a feel for my tropical and Western chart, I became obsessed. I didn't just stop at tropical Western astrology. I wanted more information. I wanted even deeper dive. And so I went into Vedic astrology, and Moonly was one of those apps that I used in order to dive deep into my chart. And now, as we all may have seen, and you've maybe even experienced for yourself, that the Vedic astrology chart versus your tropical Western chart is quite different, right? And at first glance, it can be quite alarming. It could look very different. It could be very foreign. You could be a sun sign, this in a tropical astrology in sun sign. You could be a sun sign, what is it, like maybe a Taurus in your tropical chart, and be something completely different in your Vedic chart. And so at first glance, these things can look very alarming. It can look very strange. It can look very off, or it could just seem very wrong, right? And so I understand the questions that are asked around it, right? And for me personally, they both are true, right? So let's take my chart for example. When I look on Moonly and I look and see what my particular sun sign is, I am actually an Aquarius in Vedic astrology, whereas in tropical astrology, I am a Pisces sun, you see? And so with this energy, when I really do calm down and I center myself and I really interpret what a Pisces is all about, right? A Pisces is supposed to be very spiritual. They're supposed to be someone that has a tendency to be a bit dreamy, a bit aloof. They are someone that may like or tend to isolate and things of that nature, right? They can also be, in their healthiest, quite compassionate, right? They could be of service to others. They may really be someone that really wants to blur the lines between them and other people and lead from their heart, lead from their souls, right? And same is true for Aquarius, right? If you really break down the traits of the Aquarian nature, the Aquarius is also someone who leads with compassion and who's also very humanitarian driven, and who is also very, innovative and very progressive, and is very community based, is out to kind of innovate and show people a new way of doing things. And when I start to put all those things together, I go, both are very true, right? This is what I am here to do here as I speak to you right now, right? I am offering you a new perspective. I am here on YouTube to forge community and to, lead my fellow astrologers and budding curious stargazers out there towards something new, right? So it all checks out, right? When you really do calm down and you meditate and you really investigate, and I really do highly recommend you use the Moonly app for this, right? Because it is a beautiful Vedic astrology app where you are able to dive deep, you are able to understand it, it's all laid out for you, super clear, and you are just able to really understand the intricacies of your destiny, of your soul, of who you are. And so this leads me to the next topic of which one is more accurate. They are both accurate. I want to scream this from the mountaintops. I swear, I want to make like a PSA announcement, and I just want to scream to the mountaintops, and I want to shake the souls out there and say they are both true. They're both very accurate. You only have one destiny. You only have your birth time, your birthplace, your birth location, and it doesn't matter if you put that information into a potato. Your destiny is going to come out in either of those systems, whether it be Vedic, tropical, Placidus, whole sign. Your destiny is your destiny, and it takes a very skilled astrologer to be able to correlate the two. For me, I'm able to see the patterns, I'm able to see the correlations, I'm able to see the similarities, I'm able to see, how they both are saying the same thing. And that's why I always say, you guys, please calm down, chill. They're the same, I promise you. I know it may look different, but they are the same. And whenever I look at my whole sign chart versus my Vedic chart, they check out for me. When I'm looking through it all makes sense. It all correlates. It all is relevant. It is all true. And so I really highly encourage you. This is a kind of a video to educate you and to kind of give you some fun information on which one is more accurate and which one I use. But when I was coming up as a young, budding astrologer, I did not stop at tropical astrology. Once I was able to get my feel for my whole sign tropical chart, I then went to Placidus. Once I was able to chew on my Placidus chart, I went to my Vedic chart. From my Vedic chart, I went to my Draconic chart. You just should never stop the thirst for knowledge, because this is how you grow your relationship with the stars. Each culture, each system has their own interpretation, but they are both relevant, and if you correlate the two, you become an even more powerful astrologer, okay? And so that is my 2 cents on the subject, okay? Let me know what your let me know, I think this would be fun, right? Let me know what your Vedic sun sign is, and let me know what your tropical sun sign is, and I will write to you in the comments how they correlate, how they are similar. They may look different, but I promise you they are very similar. And use the Moonly app. Use the Moonly app for that, okay? I'll put the description for the Moonly app in the comments below. It is one of the best Vedic astrology apps that I have ever used, and I swear by it. So this is why I'm kind of directing you down that path to use that app. But yes, in the comments below, let me know your Western tropical sun sign, and then let me know your Vedic astrology sun sign. And in the comments, I will write back to you how they are similar and how they are different, and how you can congeal the two and, rectify them so that you see it in your own soul, you see it in your own being, all right? So, without further ado, I am wishing you all the best, much prosperity and abundance. You take care and be blessed. Bye.